Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Jyoti Prakash and let's get into the video. So you can clearly see that today Bank Nifty shows some humongous movement here, and if you count its high and low, it's around 1000 point. And previously I told you that if it opens gap down and shows any kind of negative movement there, then you can take trade for selling, and your target will be 42,500 to 42,400. And today it opens gap down around 42,700 and shows negative movement until 42,500, and it took support from that, and in the last 1 hour and half an hour, it shows some good movement here. Now it trades around 40,250. So in one day candle chart it looks positive to me, but my suggestion would be let it trades above 40,500 in between 1 or 2 days, which is if you counting it on Friday and Monday, and if it trades above 40,500 or 550 on Monday or Tuesday, then you can expect some good buying pressure from there also. For any kind of selling, if it opens gap up and shows any kind of negative movement there, then you can take trade for selling. Or if it opens gap down and shows negative movement there they also you can take trade for selling, and your target will be 42,000 round level. Okay. Now let's look into in 15-minute candle. In 15-minute candle, you can clearly see that it opens gap down and took support from that 40,500 level, and it halt at that level, which is 40,000, 42,700 to 40,650. And when it breaks that, it continuously goes up until 40,000 round level. And after it breaks 40,500, it shows some humongous movement here in one-sided movement, which will be around 500 point. And now it trades around that higher side. As I said in one day candle chart, if it opens gap up or opens flat and shows positive movement here, then you can take trade for buying, and target will be 42,500. But for any genuine buying, or if buying with large quantity, it needs to be closes above 40,500, 550. Then you can export some buying pressure from there. For any selling, it needs to opens gap down or opens flat and shows negative movement here. Then you can take trade for selling until 40,000 level, and if it opens gap down below 40,000 or around 40,000 level and shows any kind of positive movement here, then you can take trade for buying. And if it closes below that 40,000 level, then you can also take trade for selling. So it is depend on you. If it opens gap down, gap up, then you will going to wait for at least 15 to 20 minutes for any kind of trend confirmation. Then after that we can take trade for buying or selling. Okay. Now let's look into Nifty in one day candle chart. In Nifty also, it is so similar kind of movement, but Bank Nifty looks more positive than Nifty. But in Nifty, you can see that it opens gap down, and previously I told you that if it opens gap down and shows negative movement here, then you can take trade for selling, and target you can set to for 18,000 level. So it opens gap down and negative movement until 18,000, and after that it shows positive movement from there, and it's around 200 point it off from that 18,000 level. Now it trades around 18,200. So it also showed some negative movement around that level, which is 18,300. So my suggestion would be here same as if it opens gap up or opens flat, and if it trades above 18,300 in between 1 or 2 days, then after that we can expect any kind of buying pressure from here. For any selling, if it opens gap up or opens flat or opens gap down, and if it shows any kind of negative movement by opening anywhere, then you can take trade for selling. Now let's look into in 15-minute candle. In 15-minute candle, it is also makes same kind of candle as Nifty, Bank Nifty, and it also halted there around 18,060 level, and up to when it breaks that level, then it shows some positive movement here. But real movement comes after when it took resistance from that 18,100 level, and when it breaks that, then after that it shows continuously 110 to 12, 20 points movement directly, and now it trades around 18,200. So as I said, if it opens flat and shows positive movement here, then you can expect some buying pressure here until 18,300. But for proper buying, it needs to close above 18,300 level. And if it opens, let's assume it opens gap down. So if it opens gap down and if it trades below 18,100 or 18,090, then after that we can expect any kind of selling pressure here. But it may be happen that it opens gap down and it took support from that level today. So it may be happen that it again takes support from that. So you're going to wait if it opens around 18,100 or 18,090 level, and if it shows positive movement here, then you can take trade for buying, or if it closes below 18,080, then you can take trade for selling. And that's it for Bank Nifty and Nifty. Now let's look into Bank Nifty components. In Bank Nifty components, our first component will be HDFC Bank, and give me a moment. In HD Bank, you can see that it opens gap down and it trades below until 1620 level, and after that it took support from that, and now it trades around the higher side, which previously act as a resistance level. So my suggestion would be let it trades above 1645 level. Then after that we can expect some buying pressure here, but you can take trade for selling if it opens gap up or opens flat and shows any kind of negative movement there. Then you can take trade for selling, because previously it act as a resistance level, so it may be happen that it again took resistance from that level, and for that it maybe show some negative movement from that higher side. Okay, now let's look into ICC Bank. Similar kind of pattern makes here also, and you can clearly see that ICC Bank today makes some large movement to downwards and upwards also, and now it trades around that zone which is previously act as a resistance level, which is 910. So my suggestion would be let it closes above 910, then after that we can expect some buying pressure here. And my suggestion for tomorrow will be if it opens gap up and it trades above 911 or 12, then you can take it for buying, and your target will be 922, 923. For any kind of selling, if it opens gap up or flat and shows any kind of negative movement, as I said in HDFC Bank, then you can also take trade for selling. I think that thing, similar thing happen, may be applicable to every bank. If it opens a gap up or opens flat and opens gap down and shows any kind of negative movement, then you can expect some selling pressure in bank Nifty components. In SBI, you can also see that it took support from that 600 level and shows some humongous movement here around highs, make high of 680 to 18, and now it trades around that resistance zone, which previously act as a resistance level and which previously so some movement, negative movement from there. So my suggestion would be let it trades around that zone or trades above that zone for another 1 or 2 days, and if it shows any kind of positive movement by closing above 16 on 620 or 612 or 13, then you can expect some buying pressure here also. And as I said in selling, if it opens flat or opens gap down or opens gap up and shows negative movement here, then you can take trade for selling. Now let's look into Kotak Bank. Give me a moment. Kotak Bank also takes some time to loading. Yeah. In Kotak Bank, you can see that it opens gap down and it did not show some and positive movement here, but it goes until 1800 level, and it again took support from the 1800 level. So my suggestion would be wait for another 2 to 3 days for any kind of trend confirmation, because it continuously took support from that 1800 level and it took resistance from that 1830 to 35 level. So let it closes above 1830 or 35 for taking any kind of buying trade, and for any selling it needs to closes below 1810 or 1800 level, then after that you can take trade for selling. So you can look into it for another 1 or 2 days, then after that you can take trade for buying or selling. In Axis Bank, it did not show some good movement here. Also, it opens gap down and small gap down, and it goes until 915. But it took support from that level, and if you count its high, it's around 30 point. But now it trades around that level, which previously I say Axis Bank took resistance, and so my suggestion would be let it closes above 935 or 936. Then after that we can expect some buying pressure here, and your target will be 945 to 950. For any selling, you can take it for selling if it opens flat, gap down, or gap up, and shows any kind of negative movement in 15 to 20 minutes candle. Now let's look into IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank also took support from the 1200 level, so as of now it looks positive to me. But let it closes above 1240 to take any kind of buying trade here, because that 1240 level previously act as a major resistance level. It already took resistance from that level for around 3 to 4 times. So let it closes above 1240 level. Then after that we can expect any kind of buying pressure here. For any selling, if it opens flat or opens gap up and shows negative movement there, then you can also take trade for selling. And that's it for today, guys. If you like the video, please share it and subscribe my channel. Bye bye, everyone.